Heyo, I trust this video finds you, taking care of business like a jaguar, Today we've got a couple scoops of digital goodness from one of my fave brands in the whole wide world, Casio. But not a G-Shock this time, not even a piece from their current vintage collection, which is chocked full of snazzy watches. No, today we're getting cozy in the rabbit hole that is the Casio back catalog with 2 pieces from the seemingly elusive and defunct Poptone line. Okay, a dollop of backstory before we jump in, bear with me. I came across these particular references online a few years ago, can't remember where exactly, but the hunt began. The collection is not currently in production, but fear not, some examples are readily available still, brand new, and these specific references can be had if you're a diligent searcher. I call these watches odd ducks, and maybe no explanation is needed. You're seeing them right now, right? On first blush, they reminded me a lot of fitness trackers. Maybe they do for you too, especially the Fitbit. Fun fact, these watches were released in 2009, it seems, and Fitbit, the closest resemblance I can think of, was founded in 2007, so yeah. I expect it's a simple case of convergent evolution for all the biology nerds out there, but interesting nonetheless. The Poptone line included variations on these references in different colorways and even other similar watches in different form factors. And fitness seemed to be the name of the game for Casio as well, since other models boasted lap timers, sporty colors, etc. These pieces caught my eye for a number of reasons, we'll touch on them, but I gotta think my initial attraction had to do with the busier digital display and the button set, which really gave me retro futuristic vibes like whoa. I resolved to live out my Alien and Star Wars fantasies, and that's how these little homies ended up in my personal collection. Backstory complete. Bam. Let's don our spectacles. Today, we're more so wearing like 3D glasses and whatnot since we're tilting a bit wonky with our dimensions. I've got only 3 for you to consider. We've got the width, which is a scant 23 millimeters. We've got a height, or a lug to lug if you want. I think lug, that's usually what we like to say. 40 millimeters. And a thickness of 11 millimeters. Normal watch measurements just don't cut it here, peeps. The form factor is just unusual. Hopefully these numbers help give you a general idea though. These watches are smaller, but with a lot of presence. We'll focus on the black colorway to start. It's my fave between the two. Favoritism. The second I snagged, and seemingly the harder one to find, FYI. Everything's framed just so here, y'all. All the watch has to offer is readily available and labeled as such. It's very utilitarian in that regard, and I think that aspect also lends to the function over form, sci-fi spaceship vibe offered here. The case is bookended, and the dial is framed with chrome. Top to bottom, we get the day, date, hours, minutes, seconds, and a mesmerizing set of cycling indicators that serve as a 10-second countdown timer. That last feature really enamored me. Whenever I wear these pieces, I find myself staring down, watching the concentric rings appear and disappear. It's a whole moment, y'all, I promise. Beyond that, we get some dotted frames to help keep the elements visually distinct, and some lines and color colored boxes, which, as far as I can tell, are just for kicks, because they're dope. They don't really seem to serve a function, but I'm all for doing things for dopeness alone. The offset buttons aren't coy, you get what's advertised. Larger buttons for the light and adjustment features, a pipped, smaller button for the mode, and a final smaller button to toggle the 12 and 24 hour displays, just like on many other Casios. And with that note, let's run through those features. It's a fairly feature-rich model, especially considering it is ultimately a simple and, at the time of release, inexpensive Casio. We've got 50 meters of water resistance, which beats out a lot of common Casio favorites like the F91W, a daily alarm, hourly chime, and a 1/100th of a second stopwatch. Add to that an EL backlight adjustable to 1.5 or 3 second durations, similar to some more recent G-Shocks I've gotten. I don't normally fret about accuracy on digital pieces, but if you're curious, George, and for what it's worth, we should be getting about plus or minus 20 seconds per month on a 3-year battery. Obvi, these watches live and die on design, and it probably didn't take you more than a few seconds to decide whether or not you'd be on board to add this to your daily drip. It's a watch that catches the eye, yours and those around you. Like you'd expect, given the form factor's similarity to popular smart devices, it wears well. It's light and easy to forget about when you're not, staring, rapt, hypnotized by that LCD display like I was telling you about. I can't think of many gripes for this one besides dumb wish list items that would really ultimately change the watch. It'd be nice to have more water resistance, sapphire, blah blah. That kind of thing doesn't apply as much with pieces like these though, since we're talking about watches that cost the same as like 2 orders at Wendy's when it was released. If I had to rack my brain for a more reasonable criticism, I would say that I'd like to see a more substantial, maybe even, a nice metal clasp or buckle on the back, I should say. This one, more than some of my other Casios, feels fragile and breakable, though no issues yet, knock on wood. But yeah, another one in the bag, y'all. It's a lot of fun delving into the Casio back catalog. So much treasure to find. What do you think of these? Could you see snagging one for yourself? If you don't already own one, color me curious as always. Would love to hear from you in the comments. I hope you're having a rad day wherever you are. Thanks for spending a little bit of it with me. Take care.